Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. You said, look at the Drudge Report today. Trump suffers bizarre brain freeze, slurring speech. I mean, okay, so that even Drudge Report is noticing, right? I mean...
Yeah. I mean, for a second there, I was thinking, oh, here comes the COVID blood clot. He just completely glitched out. I mean, he went to say something like...
I think blood clot is ahead of uncommitted in the...
That's right. He was saying something about Russia and Saudi Arabia, and then just completely seized up.
Stephen Colbert said he can't even say Russia without climaxing.
Yeah. I mean, his face, like, physically contorted.
Yeah, it did.
His face... like distorted into some sort of weird expression, and his right eyeball looked like it was about to launch out of the socket. Yes. It was incredible. And then after that, he couldn't recover. Usually when he short circuits, he retcons the short circuit and makes it seem like he meant to say that wrong thing.
Yes.
Except this time, he didn't.
He goes,
just did the Napoleon.
Look. Right, that's his thing.
Yeah,
that's his recovery.
Right. Well, this time, he just did Napoleon Dynamite. He just went...
Do we have that Russia-China thing? Do we have that soundbite?
Still?
That is really...
Which one?
The Russia-China...
It
one.
was yesterday. I'll find it.
Okay. Yeah, you know what it reminds me? It reminds me of the old bit Rick Overton used to do about how men after orgasm get bobbly baby head.
Yes, they do.
Like that's
what he gets out.
When he says Russia, he's like...
That's right. He was just... That's so gross. Now I'm starting to internalize what you just said, and it's just like, oh my God, are you serious? There's been a theory. I think, what was it? Michael Cohen was saying that he crapped himself. That was what happened during that short circuit. And that's, I mean, Noel Kassler has talked about that sort of thing. I don't know if there's any.
Oh God.
I mean, I don't want to. You know what? Let's not think about Donald Trump's poop this morning.
All right. Let's think more about his orgasms. Let's listen.
Heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your.
I think what he meant will collude to make sure gas prices go up so Biden loses. I think
right,
that's
something
what
like
he
that.
meant.
Yeah.
But you understand that's where
makes me so happy.
Yeah.
My lips hurt real bad.
She sounds like that caller to Love Songs on the Coast.
That's right. Hey, thanks for calling Love Songs on the Coast.
I don't have any good...
Oh, you and Matt broke up. That's tough. That's hard. Okay, here comes Penny Lover. Just gonna do the whole
these
bit for
chickens have large talons? Sounds like a boy.
I saved these for you, Bob. This is people are coming across the border with speaking languages from Mars.
Yes, from Mars.
All we know is that Mars needs women. Is that all we know?
We have languages that are like from the planet Mars.
From Mars.
Nobody knows how to, speak it.
What?
And then these students, and I'm not blaming them, I'm saying they put the students in the place of our students, like in New York City. We have these wonderful students. They're going to school. All of a sudden, they no longer have a seat. They're no longer invited to the school. We're putting migrants in who don't speak the language. They have no idea what the teacher's saying. And we have children that are no longer going to school.
What?
I see. Okay, children, there are no children. Children are no longer in school because they've been replaced by Mars attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
Women.
They've been replaced by Martians, as we all know.
Yeah. I want to know what language magnified fortune was. Remember he said magnified fortune?
Yes.
Is that Martian? Is that the Martian language he's talking about?
Magnified fortunes.
Oh, God. And you know what? He also said that there are no more parks in New York.
No
more
parks.
Little League.
Well, we don't need them because there's no children and no schools.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like baseball now and football. They do action replays in magnified fortune.
The giggle.
What?
A fashionable magnified tape.
Make it sound like you don't know what he means. Okay.
I know. I've memorized all of them.
It's only Hannibal Lecter. We were talking about the nobody. It's an army of Nels coming across the border because it's language that no one speaks.
Right.
So.
Nay ta-ta for Nell.
Yeah, we need Operation Chickapee in a win. But they're all Hannibal Lecters.
They're coming from places unknown, and they're rough people, in many cases from jails, prisons, from mental institutions, insane asylums. Insane asylum, that's Silence of the Lambs stuff. These Hannibal Lecter. Anybody know Hannibal Lecter? We don't want them in this country.
Well, it is clear. What's that cop show that Jodie Foster is in? We need to put Jodie Foster in charge of Operation
True Detective. I just started watching. It's excellent.
Dr. Lecter, you need to go back across the border. I can hear you screaming.
Go back. Yeah, I'm sorry.
He said insane asylums.
Yes, he did.
I mean, it just is a one notch away from booby hatch.
Right.
I mean, my God, what is he from the Victorian era or something?
Yeah.
Is that he's going back to those colloquialisms from 1902?
I predict shortly he's just going to be like, he's going to be doing this because you said, Brian Kilmeade said, you have to come up with $400 million. How close are you to securing the bond? Trump, I have a lot of money. I can do what I want to do. You said he's racked up at least $2 million in interest since the ruling. If he had the money, he would have paid it by now. I mean, and he keeps contradicting his own lawyer. They're like, no, he doesn't have that. And he's like, I got all the money in the world. Right? He keeps contradicting his lawyers.
That's right. And my favorite thing is when he continuously says publicly, he says this in his rallies and he says this on Truth Central. He says that he's routinely devaluing his assets on financial statements.
Yeah.
Where if I'm an IRS auditor and if I'm seeing that, I'm going, all right. We're going to come down on your head like a gigantic cartoon anvil right now because this is insane. I wonder if there's, I mean, because he could face like hundreds of millions of dollars in fines from the IRS alone. I mean, there is an ongoing audit of his finances right now.
Speaking of Troth Sinchen, his fanboys from Truth Social are suing him. That's like lost in all the other bombshell news. Because of him, he's ripping off his fanboys that he started his stupid thing with. Oh my God. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of companies that are selling Trump bucks to the suckers and rubes. And then the suckers and rubes are taking the Trump bucks to their banks and going, I don't understand why my bank won't cash this Trump buck. Why can't they put this into my account? What kind of communist nonsense is this? Well, it's monopoly money, you idiots.
Finally, let's end on the serious. This is what I've been talking about. You and I, Bob, are saving America together. That's it.
Okay.
You retweeted, watching Reid Report, I was reminded Trump will be receiving classified daily briefings as the candidate. Jesus, people, this can't happen. Are we nuts? And you said if they actually do provide him with classified briefings, accompanying documents will have an old hubcap chained to them like a gas station bathroom key.
That's a courtesy.
So he can't take them with him.
It's a courtesy. Yeah. The president will not allow it. Trust me. It's a courtesy.
So you hear a lot of awkward clanging at Mar-a-Lago. He's got a whole series of
as he tries to sell our latest nuclear secrets. Clank.
He's got them all like lined up in his secret room next to his ball gag and leather hoods. The secret room off his bedroom. Remember that?
Effect we had for Tammy Wynette going water skiing after she was dead.
That's right.
Donald Trump's trying to sell our nuclear secrets.
Oh, God.
Oh, Bob, you tickle me.
Yeah. Oh, we just have to start. We have to go and disabuse our friends and family members who are like, I don't know about Joe Biden.
Yeah.
We got to do that work
we
because there are a lot of.
We just played this woman. Trump is a lunatic. He's a threat to the universe. Will you vote for Biden? No.
Yeah. But Joe Biden's old, so let's have fascism.
Yeah.
Let's have economic instability. Let's have another recession. Let's have that madness. Another pandemic gone horribly awry. Let's do that again because, I was right in the middle of recording my show yesterday and it kind of came up on Twitter right in the middle. I got completely distracted. But hasn't anyone ever told him? Anyone gone up to him and said, Mr. Trump, you know what that kind of looks like?
You know how many prison jokes people are doing when you do that?
That's right.
I felt like after that Rachel thing, Bob, going, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? I mean, he almost suffers from being too successful and getting too much done. Like I was saying yesterday, Bob, I think people are numb to how bad and how many horrible things Trump has said and done. And we're numb on the other side to how much Biden has accomplished. It's like, I mean, you tweeted Trump's economy, 3 million jobs lost, deep economy-wide recession, pre-COVID manufacturing recession, massive spike in the deficit and debt. We had to wipe our butts with coffee filters for F's sake. I mean, go ahead.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, we've always talked about this, the amnesia of the American voter. I'm in this mode right now, Stephanie, where I'm still feeling a little confident about
Me too.
where we are with the election. I don't know why, but I mean, I'm looking at the Donald Trump underperforming all the polls, and I'm looking at all the support of Republicans who refuse to vote for Donald Trump in the fall. And at the same time, I'm in that frame of mind where I want to run around to a bunch of voters and go, don't be stupid. No, you stop being stupid. Don't think Joe Biden's age is irrelevant. Don't worry. Don't
Right,
worry, because eggs
Yeah.
are $1 more, you shouldn't vote for a fascist. I mean,
and it's not like
that's
Trump's
where I
going to
am
be.
right now.
It's not like Trump's going to be any less of a rapist and traitor and
Right.
criminal. He's going to be more
Yeah.
so, and probably convicted at least once.
Right. I mean, my biggest fear is that there's some sort of weird masochistic nostalgia for the Trump 4 years. And I don't have anything necessarily to base that on.
Yeah.
I just get the sense. And whenever, you know what, it's always dangerous when they have focus groups on cable news because focus groups are
Yeah.
the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
People who are paid to complain will obviously complain.
Right.
So and they show these things on cable news,
Well,
and
it's 'cause
it
Trump-
makes my spine shrink. Yeah.
And that's hard for a man of your size.
Yes, it does. It's just that
it's
awful
'cause-
falling feeling.
It's because Trump says it. He claims his economy was the greatest in the history of the world. You retweeted, fact check, Trump left office with the worst jobs record since the Great Depression. President Biden has since presided over not just historic, the most jobs ever created by a U.S. president. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there was an instability that was occurring even during the best of Donald Trump times, where I feel like this is insane that we have to remind people of what happened like 3-4 years ago. It's maddening that this has to be a thing, but that was it. I mean, we were all waking up every morning wondering whether our families were going to still be together because we all hated each other, and we were waking up thinking, is there going to be a mushroom cloud today? Is there going to be a nuclear war with North Korea today or something? And that was kind of the ongoing feeling of this low frequency stress that we all felt through those 4 years. And that didn't even take into consideration that last year.
Yeah.
That
Well, you
2020 year.
You always make the
which
great
was a
analogy
nightmare.
that
Yeah.
it's like leaning back in your chair. That's the way it
Oh,
felt
yeah,
for 4
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Like,
That
am I
constant
about to
feeling.
fall? I think so. Break my spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Haley. You retweeted. Haley said the way people suffered during COVID was because of Donald Trump's decisions, and you said this is 100% fact. Up until now, I felt like I was the only one making an effort to rescue this doozy from the memory hole. So thank you, Nikki. Who's in 20 minutes going to suspend her campaign.
Yeah.
And I don't
I mean,
know. I feel like she will be a laughing stock if she endorses him. The word is she's not going to. What are they saying? Haley will not announce an endorsement during her hastily scheduled 10 a.m. event this morning, Eastern time, but she will encourage her rival, Donald Trump, to, quote, earn the support of the voters who supported her. How do you think he's going to take that helpful advice?
Yeah, I think the expectation should be that she's going to endorse him. I mean,
Yes,
I just keep thinking back to 2016 when Ted Cruz was kind of in her spot, and Donald Trump was saying horrendous things about Ted Cruz and Ted Cruz's family and his wife, and Ted Cruz was firing back. But of course, as soon as the opportunity came around, Ted Cruz, the jellyfish that he is, kissed the ring.
But she went even
genuflected before
further.
Donald Trump, yeah.
I mean, how do you go from he is totally unfit to lead to, yes, please, right behind him, yes, sir. I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Well, and especially on COVID. I was so glad that she said what she said on Fox News about Donald Trump's COVID record, because once again, that's another thing that gets flushed down the memory hole. The fact that there has been study after study, and it's not just one study. This is not one thing.
Yeah.
It's been multiple studies that said not only did Donald Trump preside over 400,000 American deaths in his final year, that's 100,000 times the death at Benghazi as far as Americans go.
Yeah.
And not only that, but his incompetence, his greed, his foot dragging on COVID led to at least 40% of those deaths being directly attributable to his incompetence. It's a staggering thing that we're all going. There are so many of us are going, let's have that back because eggs are 80 cents more. It's maddening.
Right. Well, I mean, and Bob, you kind of made the same point I did. You retweeted Greg Gutfeld said, I feel like there should be a Trump blowout given all these numbers. That's why I don't trust it. Jesse Waters, I think that you should trust it. People agree with the policies that Donald Trump pushes. And you said the MAGAs are getting happy. Please proceed, dinguses.
Yeah.
That's what I just said
to
to Chris is, I know we get accused accused of being in the liberal bubble, but at least we believe in facts. Like Joe Biden won the election. The vast majority of Republicans believe Trump, that Biden's not even president. So, you know, of course they think Donald Trump's going to win in a landslide, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And as we all know, you shouldn't get happy. Don't get happy.
Right.
And they are. They're measuring the drapes. Donald Trump said, I think he was on, what was it, RSBN over the weekend,
Yeah.
said, oh, we don't need more votes. We don't know. We've got enough votes. Don't worry
screw
about it. We
you,
don't need
Nikki
to-"
Haley voters.